rocking the arts, rocking the arts. Women rocking the arts, rocking the arts. Not too sweet to understand. I know I don't need no man. Rocking this world as I stand, rocking the arts. Hello everyone, I'm Sinai and today you're here for the first episode of my podcast, Womxn Rocking The Arts. I decided to create this podcast because throughout my opera studies in London and then modern singing, songwriting and music production in Berlin, I've met incredibly talented women and I wanted to create a space where you could get to know them too. Hello everyone, today we're starting the podcast with Nayeli. She's an incredible singer, songwriter and producer whom I've had the honor of meeting at Beam in Berlin. She recently made it onto Spotify editorials with her song Claustrophobia and even received a scholarship from Spotify to study at Beam. And yo girl, you're absolutely slaying it.
Thank you.
Oh my God.
It sounds like I'm way cooler than I'm actually am.
Come on. Imposter syndrome. You're having imposter syndrome right now. I don't agree with you. So yeah, can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your music project, briefly?
Yes, I am Nayeli. I use any pronouns because I identify as gender fluid. And I feel like my project I'm like gender fluid and genre fluid, I say now. I have 3 different personas conceptualized. I have worked on 2 of them a little. Like one of them is Molly and the other one is me as myself. Molly's like this feminine, hyper feminine rage kind of character persona. And me as myself, it's just like my own experiences, my view of the world and stuff. Yeah. And the 3rd one would be a hyper masculine one that I haven't completely worked on yet, but it will be in the works at some point.
Oh, and wow.
Yeah. I'm just like, I just love to make music to show my inner thoughts and my inner brain, basically. Yeah.
That's amazing. I had no idea you had like different personas. Do you like feel different? Is it a way to identify with different parts of yourself, or how does that work exactly?
Yeah, I feel like personas often are like characters, of course. And I mean, they are characters in my case, but I feel more so they are like personifications of my inner self, of my inner thoughts. Because I have this very feminine side, I have this very masculine side. I do see the world as these characters that I have. So yeah, like they are just part of me. They are just me, but in a different kind of like hyper-focused area, basically. Like hyper-focusing on the feminine side and the masculine side, and showing my idea of gender in the world.
Oh wow, that's amazing! I had no idea about that. It's really, really interesting. And I love that you gave them names as well. That's really
The male
cool.
one, I'm not sure yet. I need to land them. Like, I need a good name because I had like Candy first, but I'm not quite sure if that works yet. But we'll see. I will find a good name.
It will come to you naturally at some point.
Exactly.
And you will be like, that's it. That's the name.
That's the name.
Oh my God. And how did you get to where you're at today? If I remember properly, you studied classical music like me. And I know that it definitely influenced a lot my music and also gave me a lot of insecurities. And I was wondering, how has it been for you, basically?
Yeah, I didn't study it, but okay. I grew up with classical music. So I've made classical music from the age from 6 to 18. I started with piano, and to be honest, it was never really my passion, but I think piano taught me a lot. Like I wouldn't have it any other way now, because I learned so many things about music theory, about how arrangement works with different like when you play piano, you have like 2 hands. You can just arrange everything freely and stuff. And then with 12, I think, 12. Yeah. I started classical singing lessons. And yeah, that was great as well. I enjoyed classical singing a lot. I loved it a lot. But the big but here is I took part in like youth competitions, and it really like messed me up completely. Like getting told as a child or as a teenager, like that something is wrong with you or something is not working well, even though you tried really hard and stuff, and getting points for your performance is like something that shouldn't exist, in my opinion. Like, I don't think that should be a thing, because like it really messed me up in my stage fright also, like, and my perfectionism and this feeling of I will never be as good as other people, because I was never the best one at either of those, like classical singing or piano playing. I just wanted to do it to have fun, but the contest is like, okay, you need to do this and this and this, and like this is wrong and blah 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 blah. And it's like, it just ruins the fun for you. It just ruins you as a person as well. Like, I remember one time they told me that my jaw is not correct and that I should get surgery for that.
Oh, they told you that?
Yeah, I should get surgery
wow.
to be a classical singer, actually, if I want to make it in my career. And I was like,
what the fuck?
What?
Like, you should start with physiotherapy, if anything.
Yeah,
I have lockjaw issues, and like no one told me to have a surgery. It's pretty extreme.
It's insane. Like, they just flat out said, you need surgery. You need to
oh my God.
fix that. And I was like, what? Why? I was like, I'm singing. What do you mean? Like, I can sing. It's not a matter of if I have a perfect jaw or something, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
And stuff like that made me really self-conscious about even my body as well. Like, feeling that I'm not made for this. And I mean, I wasn't in the end.
No, I know.
I wasn't, but it's really sad, because classical music is great, but yeah, the society around it is like,
that's why
horrible.
I left. That's why I left as well. So I was wondering if we had like a similar experience, but I could feel that it was starting to make me become a bad person, kind of, you know, because you become so competitive. You have to be competitive in that environment in order to survive. That's literally the only way, you know?
Exactly.
And at some point I was looking at myself in the mirror, you know, that's like a French saying. And I was like, who am I becoming? Seriously. Who am I becoming? I'm having thoughts of, I need to be the best in order to succeed, and if my classmate failed, it means that it's good for me. It means that, you know, I'm like better and I have like more chance to succeed, etc. And that's horrible, and I'm not like that. But it gets to your head at some point, you know.
Absolutely.
Like, you can be I'm convinced you can be the best person on the planet. If you're constantly in that environment, at some point you just start losing it, you know.
Yeah, it's absolutely crazy. I had to like I feel like it's both extremes. It's like, either you be like competitive and like just treat other people just like not like people, or it's like you just damage yourself and be like, I'm horrible. Like, it's either one of those ways, basically. So I feel like I compared myself a lot, and I had to train myself to be like, every time I would feel jealous, I'd be like, okay, I will be extra supportive of that person. I will be extra supportive now, because I'm jealous because they're great, not because they are bad. Like, I would be like, okay, you just need to support them. And this is like the way, like, how I am now, why I am now like this, because I want to support other people around me who are kind and show up, and they're great, you know?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I have no reason to put them down, which is really great now in this musical environment, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. So you feel like it has influenced your music in some way and your personality? You feel like it's something that's part of your foundation, kind of?
Yeah, I feel like for music, definitely it helped me to just work faster in productivity, basically, like just to arrange stuff and know which notes are which notes, basically,
Yeah,
just
sure.
like to be able to get chords and get like basic stuff done. And yeah, that's helped me a lot. And just singing techniques as well. And I mean, just for foundation, all of this is great. But the bad part is also like that I doubt myself a lot and I get stage fright still if I'm completely alone on stage. Like I don't like performing alone. It scares me to death. Well, I'm not dying, but yeah.
No, I know what you mean. I actually, it's interesting. I have the same thing, but since I've had like my push, on stage, it felt like it was the person with me on stage. I can sort of hide behind it.
Yeah.
But if I'm alone without
Absolutely.
it, I feel horrible. It's really, really hard because you feel like you have to be perfect. And I'm really sure once you've been through a classical training, you will always have that thought and feeling that what you do is never enough and that you need to reach that level of perfection. And like, I'm so happy personally because I think like you, it gave me a lot of things, very positive things. But it also gave me a lot of insecurities that I'm still, as of today, struggling to get rid of,
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you are an insane singer. Like,
so are you? Come on, no.
I'm not the best classical singer. Let's be honest. But
me neither. Like, I'm definitely
you're
not
great.
there.
You're really great.
No,
like yeah. But I feel like later in my youth, I was like just very interested in pop music and rock music. Like I was a huge fan, and I mean, I still kind of am, but I don't really listen to them that much anymore, of a German band called Die Ärzte. And they are like a very goofy band that have influenced me like a lot in my humor and in my way of seeing music as well. Like they helped me a lot with understanding you just make music to have fun. You don't need to make music for anything else. And they they made really stupid songs, some horrible songs as well that they don't approve of anymore, luckily. But yeah, they just became popular because they said like, we are punk and we want to be in the girl magazines.
I love that. Oh my God, you'll have to send me a link. I want to...
Yeah, they're just very goofy. They've been there for ages. They are as old as my parents. And
oh my God.
So like, yeah, they just had like some huge, like 1 or 2, I'm not sure, like huge concerts at Tempelhof.
Yeah.
Like insane. I've been to one of them, like I think 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's like crazy. Like they fill out the whole area and
that's awesome.
It's crazy. They're really good.
I don't know.
That's also problematic now, looking at
it. I'm really curious. Yeah, no, sure.
Yeah.
And so you released a song called Claustrophobia.
Yeah.
When was it? Like a few months ago?
Yeah, it was in July.
July, this summer. And I love it. I really, really love that song.
Thank you.
And it's made it on 2 editorial playlists, which is a really big achievement. It is so hard to get on those playlists curated by Spotify. So really congratulations on that.
Thank you.
I was really, and I still am like so proud of you. I was like, oh my God, that's awesome. And so, I would like to play a little extract, of this song. And and then I'll have a few questions to ask you about the making of it, the production, the meaning behind it, and all those good things.
Yes.
Back in the closet, it doesn't feel nice. We have problems, so it doesn't suffice. Where we keep to ourselves in this closed space. Back in the closet, I hate to hide. We get caught, then game over, we'll die as if we're in a horror game. It's not that I don't want you, but you won't do what I do. I it's true. But claustrophobia will suffocate us. I love you, it's true. But claustrophobia will suffocate us.
Yeah, and that was a little
Yay.
extract of your song Claustrophobia, which I really, really fell in love with, to be honest with you. I like
Thank
when I
you.
heard it, I was like, oh my god, this is so Gen Z. And like, yeah, you really got it all right. Honestly, I was like,
Thank
beautiful
you.
voice, amazing production. It's so modern, super commercial. Like, yeah, I'm not
Thank you.
surprised it made it on editorial. I was like, yeah, this is so not surprising. So I hope you're proud of yourself, really.
I am. I
Yeah.
just wanted to say, like, I just felt like when you have your birthday and then people are singing happy birthday for you. That's what it felt just like just now. I was like, that's my song.
Yay!
Yeah.
And,
But thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. I am proud,
Oh,
actually.
sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Don't worry. I'm actually proud of it. Yeah.
No, I'm so happy you are. It's awesome. And it's really important to be proud of, ourselves. Like, we don't give ourselves enough credits, I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
That's true.
yeah. So, can you tell us a little bit more about the production and the meaning of the song? Like, you can start with whichever side of the question you want.
I'm not quite sure what came first, to be honest, because I had like this melody in my head, like I love you, it's true, and it came to me just one day randomly, and I was like, yeah, that's a good song. That could be a good song. And then there's another thing, like I started working on I think the bridge I first did one day. Like I started it and made it with like with guitar and stuff and everything, and I was like, yeah, that's gonna be a banger. And so I'm not quite sure which came first, which of these things came first, but I know that both of these things were very, very central for this production process. Yeah, I made it at home, and I just wanted to have like this kind of indie pop kind of high school crush kind of first love feeling for the song, which is, yeah, why it sounds like very, I don't know, very dreamy, very cute, but also like, yeah, just like an indie pop anthem, to be honest. I wanted to have like people scream it out if they feel like kind of stuck in this kind of situations, or just like to have a queer anthem to shout out. We don't have that many. Like, I mean, we have a lot, luckily now, but it's still a long way to go to have more representation for queer relationships. Yeah. And I think it was very easy to write this song for me. And I felt like for the first time, I felt like, okay, this song could be something insanely good. Like I knew that this was gonna be a good song for myself and for others as well. I had this feeling quite early already. And yeah, I programmed the drums as well, like with samples.
So impressive how you did it.
Thank you.
So you just chopped it off?
I found like very good samples like in the Ableton library basically. And then I like to layer samples. So it's just not like one thing basically. I just want to make them sound like more dimensional a lot of times.
Yeah.
So that's how I edit them a lot to make them like this exact right texture that I want basically. Yeah. And I think most of the stuff really was programmed. I had Aditya, shout out Aditya, play guitar in the end.
Nice.
Like he finished finished the track, made it like this great. And I think without the guitar, it could have worked as well, but it wouldn't have been this complete, actually. Yeah. So I'm great we did that. And in the end, yeah, like I sent it over to Alex. He's like my sister's boyfriend. He's incredibly
I remember
talented.
you told me about him. Yeah,
he's so talented, like really, 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 like in every single area. I feel like visuals, music, just creating stuff. He built a robot at one time just for fun of it, and like it can follow you with its eyes, and it's like, what? Okay. What kind of hobbies do you have?
Awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, I sent it over to him. He was like, I normally like mix and master techno more or like electronic music, so I can try, but I'm not sure if I can do it. If not, I will send it to someone else for you. And then he sent me like the first version, and I was like, this is perfect.
Yeah,
like this is exactly how I want it. And then we just made like little tweaks, and I think like the fourth version or third version I was like, yeah, this is it.
This is
like,
awesome.
Yeah, he did such a great job, and he was like also very happy to hear that, because he said he never mixed and mastered in that genre before, which is insane to me. Like,
wow.
that
Well,
just
shout out to him.
Shout out to Alex. Absolutely. Like he's gonna also mix and master for me in the future. Like, absolutely.
Yeah, I think he's going to mix and master, if I remember well, your upcoming album. You have an upcoming album you're working on. And yeah, from what you told me, so you're working with various producers and with me.
Exactly.
And yeah, I heard a few of your tracks. Like, it's really amazing. It's really amazing. You have a track in Chinese that I absolutely love. And yeah, I would love to play a little, part of it.
Yeah.
But if you could tell us a little bit more about that album, I think it's it's really amazing. And you also told me that you think more in terms of lyrics and how you can, like you will choose a style according to what your lyrics say, if I understood properly. And this is a bit like the mood of your album and kind of the concept, if I understood properly. If you can a bit, explain it all, that would be really, really amazing.
I think like originally I made these personas that I have, for example, also like to separate genre in the beginning, because Molly's more like metal, and like the male persona, like masculine persona, is more like pop, R&B-ish, like soft kind of stuff. And now in the end for the album, when I wrote it, like I'm almost done basically with writing everything. I felt like the genres that I have in mind for the lyrics and for the different moods each song has need like a specific kind of vibe and genre. And we associate like genres with different atmospheres and different emotions as well. And like, of course, every genre has its own history, and we need to acknowledge that, of course. But I feel like we live in a time where we can just experiment now. Like everything has been done like genre wise. Like now we can just use all these genres if we want to, if we enjoy them. Like we are free to use them, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like I do enjoy rock music. I enjoy pop, hyper pop, experimental pop, like R&B. I enjoy a lot of things, and it would be a shame for myself to limit it to just one. Because as fluid as I am, I feel like I'm a very fluid person. Like I switch from artist to artist, like who I obsess over basically. And like with my gender as well, it's just everything is very fluid in my being. So I want to stay like that also as an artist. Because I feel like sometimes the best music comes when you don't limit yourself.
Absolutely. No, I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
I love that you think that way, and I really think it's the future of music. And I remember a masterclass at Beam when Spotify came to, talk to us and give us pieces of advice and all. They said that the new generation was really into making music that all have, each song has a different genre.
Yeah.
And that really is the future, I believe. And I love that. I love that you don't have to lock yourself into one genre. I think it's
Yeah.
really sad. And yeah, I think a bit like you, not as much. I think I still have like a genre that's, I don't change as extremely as you. But yeah, I love that. I love that you don't limit yourself. I think it's amazing. And that's how it should be, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think most of the artists who stay in one genre do it also because of a business side, like
True.
we got told many times, like, if you want to like be in the right algorithm and be successful, stay with one thing, with one genre.
Absolutely.
And I feel like that's really sad, like for a lot of artists who feel like they have to do that
Yeah.
to have like a consistent audience, or like where it makes sense, I guess, for them. But I feel like so many artists have so much more to offer.
Absolutely.
And probably want to. I feel like everyone has not just one genre they like. I feel like most people enjoy different kind of genres, even if it's just subgenre, like
Yeah.
there's so many kinds of rock, so many kinds of pop, so many kinds of metal, even like there's just so much hip hop, like everything. There's so many opportunities, so many options, and you can just explore, just enjoy.
I agree. And I think we should have a listen to your to your song in Chinese. I just love that you did that. It makes me so happy. I don't know, it's like so bold,
Yeah.
Just be like, I want to make a song in Chinese, so I'm gonna do it. Why wouldn't I? It's amazing. So
Let's go.
Let's go.
我有谁？谁会爱我这个样子 ，baby？ 我有 shame， 我有谁？谁会爱我这个样子 ，baby？ 我们爱我们，为什么你们不想看到我们幸福呢？我爱女人，所以呢，我爱女人，所以呢。
I love it.
I love it too.
I am obsessed
Not gonna
with
lie.
it. Yeah, no, come on, you can be so proud of yourself. So it's gonna be part of the album, and this is a demo, if I understood properly, right?
Yeah, it's like not mixed and mastered yet, but it's basically this idea of a track.
It sounds already so good for a demo.
It does. It really does.
Wow. And what does it talk about briefly? I mean, if you want to talk about it, of course you don't have to.
So yeah. First of all, I want to give a shout out to Olaf, who is like the sweetest and amazing. Like, I don't know, we just clicked from the first studio session we did together. I was like, yeah, this producer I want to work with forever. Because he's like so willing to experiment and willing to try out things. Yeah, shout out to him for producing this one.
Woo.
It's insanely good. I love hyperpop. And yeah, why it's Chinese? It's because my girlfriend is like, she's from China, and because of the familial and cultural background, it was quite hard for her to accept being queer, actually.
Yeah.
And yeah, the album also, I forgot to mention, like, the album will be about my relationship and my view of our relationship basically, I don't know, like it will be an album about the view of her closet. Like the album is going to be called The Closet, I know already.
Oh, wow.
And it's not about my closet specifically, but it's my view from her closet and my experience with her closet as well, basically. Yeah, so I felt like I wanted to make a Chinese song to make it like more accessible also for Chinese people, because
Absolutely.
it's not illegal to be queer in China, but you cannot get married yet, and it's heavily censored as well. Sadly, like feminine guys or like queer relationships, like TV shows get canceled there for having gay, just any kind of like hint of gay. Like it doesn't have to be explicitly gay, but if it's just like a really good friendships between two guys basically, and it's even hints a little bit at gay, then it gets
That's
cancelled.
horrible.
It's really crazy. It's really sad. Which is why I was very surprised to know that, like, to hear that China doesn't forbid gay relationships, you know?
Yeah.
That was crazy for me to hear, which is great. I mean, that means like being queer in China is a little easier than in some other countries, but there's still a lot of work to do. And I feel like the family relationships in China also make it very hard for people to come out to their family.
Absolutely.
Because the family name is above everything. And you cannot, like here, it's very normal. If you don't get along with someone in your family, you just cut them off, basically. It's like, yeah, everyone has that here. But in China, it's like you cut someone off, that's like an absolute no-go.
Oh.
Like there's no way you can do it because like the family is everything. And it feels almost like, from what I hear, like sometimes like networking. Like I heard also from other Chinese families as well, like it's like networking in your Chinese family to to get something from each other, or like to, yeah. I mean, it has its good side, of course, like family should matter in this sense, but even if your family member is abusive or like is toxic or something and you cannot separate yourself from them, that's like where it starts to get worrying. And yeah. Well, long story short, I just wanted it to be a little easier and have like a Chinese song that says like basically, I love women, so what?
I love
Where's the problem, basically?
It's amazing
like,
that you did that.
Thank you.
I really love it.
Yeah, it's just like a nice I love women, and I know I'm still kind of rare, but I'm like convinced to make everything better and easier and to be successful, basically, you know?
Yeah. And which
Even
one
if
of
I
your
love women.
And which one of your persona made this song?
I feel like this whole album is more like myself.
Okay.
Like my personal one.
Yeah.
Because I mean, like hints of it could be like other personas, but I feel like this is like such a personal experience and telling a story from my view as well. So yeah, it only made sense for me to use my own personal persona, like me as myself.
That
completely.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
And well, thank you for that. That was really, really interesting. And
no worries.
There's another track I haven't listened to actually that you sent me this morning or yesterday evening.
I think yesterday evening, probably.
Okay, well, I haven't listened to it. I wanted to have the surprise. So this is it going to be part of the album as well, or is that something else?
Probably.
Okay.
I'm not sure yet because I haven't gotten the stems yet because it was produced by our university, you know. Yeah, so I think I might like work some final touches in like my personal touches, but I think it's a good track for the album, and it's about the same. It's a topic again. It's basically claustrophobia in a more direct and more like craving, longing kind of way,
Absolutely.
basically.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we're gonna listen to it, to a little
Yes.
extract.
I can get you out of my head, and I don't get you now. We never settle for future ahead. We won't set the record straight.
Oh my god. I remember this song. You sang it live at a Beam party one evening.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I had absolute goosebumps. So when I heard the I can get you out of my head, I was like, oh my god, this is what she sang. And I can't tell you what this song does something to me. Like
I'm glad to hear that.
it really makes me really emotional. Like already the first time I heard it, I was like super emotional. And now I'm like, wow, I'm just so happy that you recorded it and that it's going to be in the album. I think you
Thank
have to put
you.
it in the album.
Well,
It's such a
there you go.
beautiful song, and your voice is so beautiful. Like your
Thank
voice is
you.
so recognizable, you know. I could hear recordings of
Thank you.
millions of people and I would always recognize your voice, you know. You have a very unique voice and vocal identity. And
Thank you.
yeah, I really had goosebumps. I was really, really emotional listening to it.
Aw.
Yeah, it's a very special song, I feel like. So
Thank
yeah,
you. I really appreciate it.
I'm really glad I listened to it today.
Actually, very funny story. You remember, like you said, the workshop where we met the first time, right?
Yes.
Where we had to like top line basically.
Yes.
This is where I had the first two lines from for blue colored glasses. The first two lines I top lines like that. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna make a song. I finished that at home.
From that workshop, that's the top
Yep.
line you did, and he didn't pick it up?
No, because I was too late. I was like, I was too shy to go because we had to like put up our hands and
yeah.
volunteer. And I was like, in the last round, I was like this, and then he didn't see me.
Oh, poor you! I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and then that's okay. No worries. But that's where I got the first first four lines maybe from this song.
Oh
Yeah.
wow, it's so beautiful. Like,
Thank you.
It's a very, very special song.
Thank you so much.
Wow, I just love your voice so much on it. And
Thank you.
And your riffs towards the end. What the hell? I don't know how to do that.
Girl, thank you. But like the vocals was like a struggle. Like there was a struggle that day. No, just because like I came out of a sickness basically, and I couldn't sing the high parts and everything. I couldn't do it, so I had to re-record it at home and then send it over to Pete and Fabio, so they can use it because in the studio I was like struggling so hard. I was like like that.
Oh my god, yeah.
But,
so Pete mixed it.
I think Fabio probably mixed and mastered, I think. And yeah, Pete made like production and arrangements.
He worked with Sting, right?
Yeah, Pete
that's
Smith,
freaking amazing.
the man, the legend.
How do you feel you have a song produced by him, like part of it produced
it's
by
crazy.
him? That's pretty cool, right?
It's pretty cool. Like, and he's a very fun person. Like, even when I like completely missed the mark for the vocals, he was like, "It's not bad. I know you can do better, but it's not bad. Like we can still make it work." And I was like, I want to re-record it at all. I have to do this. Like, I can't deal with this.
Oh my god, I cannot tell you actually re-recorded. It's they
did a great job mixing it, probably like blending it or something. Or I don't know, maybe they use all of my recordings. I'm not sure quite honestly, but yeah, I'm glad it worked out in the end, because I was so frustrated after that day. I was like, Jesus, like, why can I not perform just like how I wanted to? But
sometimes,
that's life.
You're like, sometimes stuff happens, and as a singer, you can't always be at your best. It's a difficult truth. But I cannot tell.
The day was fun still, like the studio day. It was just like one day, right? And it was very fun still. Like, I had Jens on the drums, like my good friend Jens, and Aditya again on the guitar. He sadly moved to London now, I think. Like London, but he moved away, sadly. But that's life,
Well, beautiful song. Anyway.
And Jojo on the bass as well. Yeah,
nice,
amazing stuff. All of them are great musicians, great people to work with.
You really have a talent to surround yourself with good people and amazing
I'm just
musicians.
very lucky, to be honest. Like,
no, you're not lucky. Like you give so much to everyone. You're so generous. So you like it's all deserved. You know what I mean? It's not just like happening out of nowhere. I know how you are. You know.
Thank you. But I feel like this is like the best thing that came out of moving to Berlin and going to BIM as well, like to have met all these very talented and supportive people who are like, everyone is just trying for each other to make it, like
absolutely.
In my friends group, at least, like everyone wants the other people to succeed and wants to help out if possible. Of course, we're all very, very busy, and musicians are introverted as well, and everyone stays at home, I guess.
But I know what you mean.
Yeah, but everyone wants to help or support each other, at least,
Absolutely.
Like, I feel like that's how it should be, because, there's so many people, so many musicians, so much music. It's not possible for one to be like the best at something, like that's just not how it works in art in general, like.
I agree. Yeah. And like, do you feel that music has helped you psychologically, to go through life's challenges or all those good things?
Yeah. Absolutely. I feel like music has always been a relationship to me, like maybe a friend. Like, I used to have a really bad relationship with music at times, where it's like a falling out almost, like I see music almost as like this person who is like with me. I had this time where I really was gonna quit music and don't want to do anything with music anymore and stuff. So, because I was just so frustrated by like not getting like the results I wanted to go to, like a public university, for example, because they're also very hard to get into. Like, they just take like 1 or 2 people at most for each class, basically. So at times it was like a falling out with music, but I'm very happy now to have music back, especially in a time where I was like diagnosed with depression as well, and I went to a mental hospital. It helped me a lot. I remember also like my first EP like was made during my like depressive episode, like my very like where I was diagnosed also with like heavy depression, really. And I think I finished the EP actually also in in the mental hospital, funnily
Oh,
enough. Like I was on the
wow.
computer. So it's like very unpolished, obviously, like because I didn't know that much about producing and stuff. But I think I'm still proud of that body
Of
of work.
course, you should be.
Yeah, even if it's like not perfect in the production kind of way. But I feel like you can still tell like that this is something that is coming from my heart, basically, something that came
Absolutely.
in my way, like in my most honest way to process things, you know? And yeah, it helped me also like the other singles that I released, like with Rage that I had, like where I realized like anger is something that we need in lives.
Absolutely.
It was always something I wanted to suppress, like this part of myself, but never successfully, obviously. And at some point, I realized when I see, like, for example, like the femicides in Mexico, I need to be angry. I need to be feeling these emotions because it's not fair what's happening in Mexico. And to be able to do that with music and to let it out and to just scream on stage and stuff, like that helps me so much. Like,
Yeah.
it's just beautiful that I can do these things. Like, other people cannot journal their way like this, basically. It's like a journal,
Absolutely.
you know, like
Absolutely.
journaling. And that's the beauty of music. Like, I don't think I would do music for any other reason than to, yeah, just create something out of parts of my life, of the experiences of my life. It's something so special. And yeah, I mean, we're cursed as musicians in the sense that we don't earn much and we don't know what our future holds, but in the sense of dealing with our emotions and dealing with our, like, reflecting on ourselves and on our lives, like, this is a blessing.
Absolutely. Because when something really hard happens to you, you can do something about it, you know, you can
Yeah,
create something out of it and
exactly.
heal, you know.
Yeah. I mean, you did your fair share of that as well. Like,
I definitely did.
you know,
I definitely did. Absolutely. I mean, my music is only about processing my own emotions, you know. It's always been why I'm doing what I'm doing today,
yeah,
and that's it. And I love that you said that anger is something that's very important. I
yeah,
totally agree with you, and I feel like as women, we are often told that we should suppress our anger. And I know
like,
that
be modest,
absolutely.
stay
And
quiet.
and it's funny because I've had a few men told me in this about the songs, you know, in which I scream that this is not the emotion that suits you the best.
Yeah,
And
I
I'm
have a
like,
similar story actually. Like, I used to be very scared of screaming. I always wanted to learn screaming.
yeah.
And I didn't do it because I had like a guy in school tell me like it's not attractive for women to scream. And
It is very attractive.
it stuck so much in my brain. And I was like, yeah, I saw other women do it. I was like, this is so fucking cool.
Yeah.
Like, I want to do this. Like, it's to me, it was the coolest thing. But I was like, oh, I cannot do this. Otherwise, I'm not going to be seen as feminine, which is ironic now to see because like,
Absolutely.
femininity doesn't matter to me at this point anymore.
Yeah, no, I see what you
And yeah, but this guy, I think he luckily changed his mind on that because I think he's working, like, he's also making music and working with someone who's screaming as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
this is nice, you know, this is the best outcome now. And
Yeah.
I'm glad I tried it now and like it. And
Yeah, and
want
you
to do
nail
it.
it.
Thank you.
And
Still a lot to learn, but
it's hard.
yeah,
It's a hard
getting there.
technique. It's a hard technique. And it's a bit like the same topic, but have you felt that same issue when it was about you being a producer?
Yeah, actually, yeah, I felt like no one specifically told me like you cannot produce or anything. But I always had this feeling of I'm stupid when I was in school. I always felt like I'm not smart enough for anything. Like I'm not smart enough to educate myself. I'm not smart enough to do this. I'm not smart enough to learn. I always felt this way. I don't know why exactly, but there's been a few things probably in my life where it's like, okay, this might be where it's stemming from, where I feel like I'm always so small and so insanely, stupid that I cannot do anything. Which is also kind of interesting because my dad, for example, he's like Mexican, right? And we have like this macho culture in Mexico, right? But my dad was never like that to me and my sister. He has been so supportive of us and always wanted us to exceed in everything. And I know as a child, I was interested like in HTML programming and stuff. And he gave me books for that and stuff like that. And
that's awesome.
Yeah, like he made sure that I also know my way around tech stuff. And
I saw that.
Yeah, like that true. Yeah, that I know how to operate on the internet safely, mostly. Like I think in my youth sometimes it was a little weird, but like he made sure that I know about internet security and stuff like that. And so yeah, I had like this kind of tech stuff and tech awareness quite early on, but still I thought I was too stupid to produce, and which is a shame. Like I could have started so much earlier.
Yeah, I know.
And I think I would have enjoyed it so much because I'm very like, I was very stuck on the computer also most of the time in school. If I wasn't like somewhere going to classical music lessons, I was like either like like playing on the Wii or like playing on the computer some games, or like Sims. I was playing Sims till I don't know. I wasted a lot of hours on that and broke the computer even, because the Sims 3 would break your computer at some point. It was insane back then.
I know, I remember. I do
Sims
remember
3
that.
was one of the best games, but
I agree.
It messed up your computer so badly, and my dad was like not happy with that.
Oh my god.
It was like, what did you do?
This is so funny.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed being on the computer and doing stuff on a computer, and I think I would have enjoyed it. But
I mean, you're an amazing producer now, so
thank you. Like I'm still learning. I would still call myself a hobby producer.
I still learn too. We learn, throughout our whole lives. In my opinion,
that's true.
You're never done learning.
It's still though like a process of like just trial and error a lot.
Absolutely.
It's not like this compressor to I don't know which level you need to put this or something. It's just like I guess this is okay.
Yeah, no, I'm like that too, but I feel like in music, at least when you mix for like television or cinema, it's a bit different. But when it's only about music, there's not much wrong you can do.
True. That is
if it sounds good, you're good to go. That's how, like, sometimes I'm like, I don't know what I did, but it's sounding great, so I'm keeping it that way.
Exactly.
And
same here.
And and I love that it's so intuitive too. I really love about that. That's why I actually chose songwriting rather than production during my studies, because I wanted production to stay something that's very intuitive for me. And I'm glad I did. I'm glad I did. And I was struggling a lot with structures, catchiness, and all those good things. And I'm really, really glad I chose songwriting, because we had a lot of production modules in the end of the day, and I learned a lot production-wise. But it really taught me to be more structured in my music, and that was amazing, really. So yeah.
Yeah, I think I was also like struggling to pick actually between songwriting or production or vocals, and I also was like
hard, right?
Yeah, and I was like, okay, I'm gonna pick vocals because I feel like I should learn more about technique and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you can really hurt yourself, that's the thing.
Exactly.
If you don't have a proper technique, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, production would have been cool probably, but I don't think I would have had that much fun, to be honest.
Yeah, I had a friend, Etienne, who was studying production, and it was very, very technical.
Yeah.
Technical, and that's great, but
Yeah.
I'm glad I chose songwriting. It was a lot more production, but on the creative side of production rather than on the technical side of it. And
Yeah.
then I learned to mix, master, and all. And you can learn that. You can always learn. I mean, yeah, I think every approach is okay in the end of the day. You just need to do what you feel.
Exactly. And I learned a lot of stuff on YouTube, like so many tutorials.
Absolutely.
I learned everything on YouTube, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, some tutorials you need to be careful with.
But like
there's
mostly,
so much good stuff. Absolutely.
Like even if it's like not the most technical tutorial, you have like a new insight of what you could do, I feel like that's such a good learning resource, like just YouTube tutorials. Yeah.
And I have a few funny questions for you.
Yeah. Let's go.
What's the funniest thing that's ever happened to you on stage or while making music?
I feel like there was like this one assessment where we were doing some Molly stuff basically on stage. And it worked. It was very chaotic overall because we managed our time quite badly. But the funniest thing was like we were playing and I had to give Rose command over my computer, and she accidentally pressed like play, I think, on like one of the buttons on my computer. And it played suddenly Mariah Carey Emotions.
No.
Because I did that for another assessment, and it just suddenly started playing, and we were like, what's going on? What is that? So we had that just in between, like this metal set. That was very funny.
Oh my God, so random.
Like, you got me feeling emotions.
Oh my God,
and then
this is so random.
Like that.
Jesus
It was
Christ.
so funny.
Oh my God. Sometimes really crazy stuff happens with technique,
Yeah, and like the teacher was like, in the end, like, was that on purpose? And we were like,
yes.
So, and she was like, oh, maybe it was. And I was like, if you want it to be, yeah.
I would have been like, absolutely. We totally planned on that.
Yeah, she was like, I mean, I wouldn't have noticed probably. It could have worked maybe. And I was like,
oh my gosh, this is hilarious.
There was nothing that worked.
Oh my God.
It was so funny and like looking at it now. Yeah.
And now I want you to tell me, it's a little game. 2 truths and a lie. And I'll guess which one is the lie.
Okay. Let me see. I sometimes I need to think very hard. Okay.
Take your time.
Yep. I kill every plant that I have. That is one. Then I used to be a sex toy seller. That is 2. And 3, I have alcohol in my house, even though I don't drink.
So I'm pretty sure you told me when I was in Berlin that you did used to sell sex toys. So I think this is a truth.
Yep.
And I'm almost sure we had a talk about killing plants because we both couldn't like keep a plant like alive. So I think this was the truth too. I'm almost sure we talked about that. And the last one, you keep alcohol, you don't drink. It's true. I think the alcohol thing is a lie.
No, the alcohol thing is true. The plants,
really?
I have one plant that is thriving. I have one plant that is surviving very strongly.
Oh my God, but we did have that conversation, no?
Yeah, I kill almost every plant, but not every plant.
Oh my God, so the alcohol thing was the truth.
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay.
I do have alcohol here and no one is drinking it. Like every time, like I'm asking my guests, do you want it? And no one is like, yeah, I don't know.
What is up? This is like the new generation in Berlin. Like, no, I don't do drugs and I don't drink alcohol. I do not smoke either.
Yeah.
While others
That's
are
the
like,
cool stuff right there. Yep. Just the nose thing, you know. No, I also I have a bottle of Baileys also as a present for someone.
that's
as well.
beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yep.
And finally, last question, Nayeli. How do you feel about rocking the arts? Do you like rocking the arts?
I do enjoy rocking the arts. I practice rocking the arts quite usually, at least twice a week. I think I like to do it in a spiritual way. I like to not compete in rocking the arts because I feel like rocking the arts is a mindset, it's a lifestyle, and it's I feel like everyone should. Rocking the arts is just like it's a vibe, you know.
Absolutely.
Everyone should do it.
Absolutely. I totally agree with you. It was so nice to have you here for my first podcast. And I had so much fun and I learned a lot more things about you. I'm so happy. There were many things I didn't know about you and your music and how you see arts and how you approach all that. So that was really, really interesting to me. And I'm really, really glad you accepted to be the first one on this podcast. That's really
Thank you
awesome.
for having me.
No, thank you for coming. And I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
With everything. And do you have any idea actually do you have like a little promotional thing to say? Like something like a release that's coming up or something like that?
Actually, yeah, I forgot. Blue Colored Glasses is coming on the 29th of November.
Nice.
Coming out. And in general, just look out for the album, I guess, next year. Also, there's gonna be a remix I made of someone else's song, but I don't know when it's coming out.
Nice.
Like Zapoida Francis. I think that's how you pronounce it. Not sure. Like
I'm not
Frank.
sure either.
Frank is amazing. He's such a cool guy. His music is cool. Mankind is the song.
Okay.
And I made a remix.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward. And I'm looking forward to finishing the song we started together.
Yeah, me too.
It's going to be really, really great. So
I think so too.
Yeah. So thank you so much again. And kisses. Take care.
Thank you. What you do is great. It's very important.
What you do is great.
What you do now is amazing. Also the podcast. Like we live in a male-dominated world, and we need more flinter women.
Yeah.
To just show what they do, because they are doing everything incredibly good.
Absolutely. I
Insanely
agree.
good.
So much talent out there.
Yep.
Yeah. Take care. Kisses. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.